You know, I'm just glad it's done. I really am. It's been a long process, and the public got involved. They invited people to be a part of the process, and finally it's signed, but the important thing now is to implement that programmatic agreement.
Guam State Historic Preservation Officer Linda Uggan may have signed the programmatic agreement, but for some, like member of We Are Guahan's Levin Camacho, the fight to save Pagat is far from over.
We're disappointed, but we're not surprised at the programmatic agreement being signed.
Uggan faced intense pressure during the negotiations, pressure that was compounded by the fact that up until the governor's chief policy advisor and attorney, Arthur Clark, stepped in, she was on her own in negotiating with the federal government.
I felt like the prior administration, for the magnitude of this, for the massive build-up project, they should have stepped in and provided legal aid, legal counsel. They never did. It's like they threw me and my director, Joe Dennis, to the wolves.
But according to Uggan, that changed with the involvement of Clark, who she says listened to her office's concerns, eventually leading to an agreement she could endorse. While Governor Calvo says the signing of the agreement has opened a new and exciting chapter for all Guamanians, there are some Guamanians who think it may have shut the door for the progress of political independence.
These decisions that eventually will have an impact on our political status decisions, and to me it's just closing in this area, and it is precluding our aspirations as a people, as a Chamorro people, that we hope one day to be able to exercise our right of self-determination. So you know, they continue to consent to all these agreements that I think have a very negative impact.
Former Senator and Indigenous rights supporter Hope Cristobal may not agree with the signing of the document, but if you talk to Clark, the man who shepherded Guam through the process that finally led to the signing of the PA, Guam got even more than it had been bargaining for.
I understand the concern people have about preserving Pagat, but if really the question is there concern Pagat, or is it concern, you know, preserving the culture and the history of the island? In which case, you know, especially in light of the concession we've got from the military not to be shooting over the Pagat village and the cave area, you know, I think we've done a pretty good job preserving that site, and in addition, you know, to get a lot from the military that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Including over $12 million in funding for a repository, extended review of military projects by the SHPO, an update of Guam Historic Properties inventory valued at $1 million, and the return of expatriated artifacts, to name just a few on the list of benefits Guam will receive under the agreement. But for Chief Program Officer of the Guam Preservation Office, Joe Canada, the deal is not good enough to call off a lawsuit filed against DOD, which alleges the federal government failed to abide by Section 106 of the National Environmental Protection Act.
The Guam Preservation Trust still maintains our position with the lawsuits, and that's because a programmatic agreement has been signed that we have not failed yet. That we're still pushing, and we're still fighting for our heritage.
And for Camacho, the programmatic agreement has not changed the end result they are fighting for.
We've been trying to save Pagat, and that's not part of this programmatic agreement. But you know, we're going to continue with our efforts, and as well as the lawsuit, to stop DOD from building any firing ranges in that area.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Lanny Walker.